Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Be careful with your, because if you pull that over, that's like game over for the whole podcast.
Yep.
And then you just decide to make it even more difficult by
Murky
throwing
waters.
the guitar into it.
Murky waters, baby. Oh. Yeah, it's good to be back.
All right.
You know?
Yeah, we're back. It's
You feel me?
What's the date today? December 22nd or something? I think it's
December?
the winter solstice, isn't it?
Huh?
It's the shortest day of the year. The winter
Yeah.
solstice. It's all up from here, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's the
saying.
darkest day of the year.
Now we just have to get through another Chicago winter.
It's coming later and later every year.
Huh?
Comes later and later every year. It
I don't
seems
know how
like,
much longer I'll be in
It's
Chicago.
nice out right now. I'm gonna stay here forever, man.
This is your spot?
Like, at least partially. You know,
Cheers.
maybe I'll split the year. Cheers.
Cheers, baby. Come in here.
Cheers.
Oh. Gosh, a lot of good stuff's coming, man.
yeah.
Like, and a lot of good stuff that we can't talk about.
Maybe prefer not to talk about. It's a lot of. It's coming and it's good. It's just still in the works. And maybe it feels a little presumptuous.
I don't wanna-
Is that the right word?
I
to
don't
talk
want to
about?
pre-jack.
You don't want to. You don't want to
Yeah.
jinx anything.
I don't
Me
want to
too.
pre-jack. I like to not jinx, but like I like to talk about that behind closed doors because that's not jinxing it.
No, you.
Because we're just talking
You can
business.
talk about it behind closed doors.
Yeah.
You can share your thought. But when you put something out into the universe, like out in public to the world, it's a little different.
That's facts.
And,
And sometimes, you got. Well, there's this guy that he's Charlie Rocket. You know Charlie Rocket?
Yeah.
He's a big manifester, whatever. He's like, sometimes, like, even if, like, it's a super long shot and it's just not going to happen, I say it did happen already to the public, so you hold yourself accountable.
And then that way, it's like it's
yeah.
gotta happen now because everyone believes that it already.
I do
did.
that through, and all rappers, artists know this. I be doing this in music all the time. You know, talking about, oh, I got this, oh, I did that. Sometimes it's just straight up of, like,
Sometimes you just straight up say
manifestation.
that it's happening before it's
Yeah.
even exactly locked in, but it's close enough. And then that little bit of manifestation or your energy going out to the world, maybe that's the thing that pushes it over, right?
yeah, hold yourself
It's-
accountable.
There was this what was that? I think it was like a TEDx or something by this guy who I don't remember any of the names. So I don't know why it matters where it's coming from. But basically, the thing was wake up every morning and be grateful. And if you just
100%.
do that for like 30 days, your life will change entirely. That was basically the guy was talking. He's like, I've talked with all these thought leaders. He's on some sort of panel where it's like Deepak Chopra and like Sadhguru and
Is
all
that
these
guy that
different
talks really
people.
fast?
And maybe I don't know. There's a lot of these people, but you know
Yeah.
what? It's like all these thought leaders, and they're all just. He's like, if there's one thing that you can do that'll change your life right now, be grateful.
Be grateful.
Wake up every morning.
baby.
Be grateful. Be grateful for everything. And I have
This set.
started trying to do that.
Yeah,
I
well,
feel like it's actually been improving things, and it's only been like a week.
Look at you.
And
Look at this is
Look at
so
it.
fire. This is
yeah, we're
so
in case y'all
fire.
didn't notice.
This is his humble abode.
I don't know who would notice anything since this is episode 3. But to the future people who are gonna go back and look at this when we're like big famous, and this is Lil famous right now. Yeah, this is my humble abode, completely redone. We just came off of a reorganization, house cleaning, let's
Beautiful.
call it, right?
Beautiful.
Picking up, change your outside, change your inside. You know, it's
Yeah.
clean outsides, clean insides.
I feel like we went.
Moving into 2022 with a
I
new,
feel like
new
2022, we will go from little famous to big famous.
domicile. I like to think that too. It feels that way.
Yeah, and it's just, whatever. I feel like everything's been snowballing for so long that finally, other people
Momentum
are.
of the world is catching up to us
Yeah.
finally.
And it's just you reap what you sow, and we sow a lot.
And we throw a lot out there, and we also, like you were saying before, we also hype ourselves up maybe a lot more than we actually
You have
should
to,
be,
bro.
but you have to.
You
and I think all
have
that's
to.
gonna come back around.
To
It's like
do-
people are starting to believe our bullshit.
To do
It's not even
anything,
bullshit though.
to do anything in this life, man. Like whatever you're doing in this life, to do anything, takes so much balls. Because it doesn't matter
To do
what
anything.
it doesn't matter what profession you're in. Tequila's getting me, bro.
For all your listeners,
It's the
out there,
holidays,
we did a tequila
baby.
shot before this, 'cause it's the holidays, and all the other
It's
ones
the
were
holidays,
straight
baby.
sober, and so we
It's the
figured maybe
holidays,
you'll
yeah,
get
it's the
better,
holidays.
better.
Get smacked a little bit.
Yeah, get smacked.
I got a funny.
Y'all go out and enjoy the holidays now.
Enjoy the holidays, baby. From above language. Oh,
I think we have the camera set
we
up
didn't
wrong.
reel
That
it
one
in.
should be mine, and this one should be yours, because I just realized that with the angles. For next
Fuck
time,
it.
do you
Whatever.
guys pay attention? Next time the angles will be switched, and if they're not, call us out.
We never reeled it in. We never reeled it in. This is Neil Clausen, Alexander Lewis, Above Language. We're hosting episode 3.
Episode 3. That's right.
Let's
Big
go,
3.
baby. Huh?
Big
The
3.
big 3's a universe powerful number.
It's a powerful number, so we're gonna make this one powerful.
You know, predicted
So,
alive.
show everyone. You didn't even mention your socks. Just my man sitting here with some socks. 55 classy.
They're looking a little dingy because I wore them
He wore them all week, but that's just because they're that fire. They're that comfortable. The quality on them is so high that this man, he put them on and he couldn't take them off for a whole week. Physically impossible. They're that good on his feet.
I was kind of like, so I went back to my small.
Let them know where
abode.
they can find your socks. How do they?
AlexanderLouis.biz/shop.
There you go.
You'll find them, baby, and that's all.
Do you have a link? Do you have a link to that through Above Language? Because we should link to you.
Yeah, I'll just description.
We'll make
below.
it easy for you guys to buy it. Don't worry.
You
Down
know,
below.
we'll get our intern over there to put in the fucking.
Is this when we say like and follow? You know, hype us up.
Let's go.
Put us on the follows. Throw us on the gram.
Those guys are always fuck. I hate guys that open up YouTube videos with first things first.
First things first.
Like my videos.
Smash that like button, bro. Smash it. We gotta get all the
bro.
follows.
What cocks, bro?
Fuck
Cocks.
that.
There is this true thing
I don't
of
think
like
we even care if anyone listens.
do the most but look like you're not. That's such a fact.
It's you can fake it real easy.
Yeah.
But actually doing things, and moving
you
along
gotta
is a
do the
whole nother
most.
thing. For example, how long did we talk about this before ever doing it?
Close to
Really
like
easy to
7
talk
months,
about it.
9 months.
Yeah, at
We
least.
have that battle of the bands things that's brewing.
Yeah, we have all these little
With-
things. That's the things none of y'all know.
With
is we
Barstool
have-
Sports.
Yeah, it's out there.
Like he
Dave
knows.
Portnoy,
He knows
business
what's up.
card in hand.
He knows what's up.
Handshake, chat, be in touch.
He be in touch. You heard it first. He be getting all those allegations, so he's probably gonna message me. He's gonna message me.
We don't have anything brewing. We don't have anything brewing with Dave
We don't
Portnoy.
mean shit.
Don't cancel us. Don't cancel us.
Not like that. Not like that. Not like that.
Oh,
how
look,
that even happened?
happened?
You got the Logan Paul.
The ghost of Dave Portnoy is in the
No,
room.
he
and
fucking. He's in here. What the fuck? No, but like,
Right, so
it's a true thing of like the more successful you get, people come out of the woodworks and they try to fucking any way they can fucking chip at you, they will. And I love Dave Portnoy for like a lot of celebrities like, oh, let's just hush hush, not talk about that. He's like, fuck that, let's bring it to the table and I'm gonna exploit you for exploiting me because you lied.
shoot back
And that's
just
pimp.
as hard.
That's
It's
that's
interesting.
pimp.
Yeah,
That's pimp shit.
It's
And I love that. I love that. But
Am I getting
So-
old? I feel like a tendon just popped in my finger.
That's
when I
not
was
good.
saying it. You
I
gotta
have a-
crank this thing
I have
so
a broken
hard.
thumb on the low
Oh, do you?
for years.
Broken? Why do you have 2 knuckles?
Well, let's go into story mode. Here we go. Why do
show
you have
show
2
the
knuckles?
camera your 2 knuckles real quick, because that's interesting.
I'll go in story mode. So you probably don't know about me, but one of my first passions was BMXing
Oh,
as a
okay.
kid. As a kid, I'm talking like fucking up to 8th grade. I was going in. I was doing fucking big old tricks. Fucking big old ramps,
Yeah.
8-foot gaps. I was going
Nice
hard.
area.
Yeah, I was
You're a
going
kid, you're
hard, bro.
invincible, so you just
Yeah,
gotta
my
get at it.
fucking my handlebars bike statement worked, so every time I landed, it would go down. So my
Yeah, they like swivel around. and
yeah,
do that
poor
thing.
kid problems, bro.
Yeah.
But I broke it twice.
Oh,
And
no
then
shit.
my doctor said, break that again, you don't have a thumb. Swear to God. He said that straight to my face.
But that's like, I feel like that's some small town
He
doctor
might-
shit.
yeah, he might-
Where like in
nobody
Chicago,
goes-
they'll be like, just keep breaking it. I'm sending my kids to college off of you. I bought a fucking Mercedes. Come on, break it
Dude,
again, boy.
My hospital, people go out of their way to go to the city because
Yeah.
it's borderline like fucking going to your uncle's.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
we took vacations up in South Haven where my grandparents were from in Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
and like we'd spend Christmas up there. But my parents were always like, if you get sick here, you better be able to wait fucking 2 hours. If you get a life-threatening injury, it better not be that life-threatening, because we are driving you to fucking Chicago. You know, we're not
Yeah.
staying in Michigan.
No, like
Yeah.
serious life injuries and fucking
wanna be
tequila, you bitch.
Fickle bitch.
Yeah. Gosh, where was I coming with this sock? Got so many stories. So this sock,
It's okay. It's just
I
a little
went-
bit here, a little bit there,
yeah.
but just pins are in the
I went back to my humble abode, small town, and I came up with a good analogy when I was smacked. You know, we were doing all these Vegas bombs. Do you know what those are? Vegas bombs. I might just be
so familiar.
Shout out Billy's Tap. But we did some Vegas bombs, and I started thinking, I was
What's
like,
a Vegas bomb? You gotta explain it now.
fuck, I don't even know. It just smacks you, bro. But it tastes delicious. It's a shot, but I don't know what's in it. But it's delicious.
It's just a shot, though?
It's a thick.
It's not like a car bomb where you're putting it in.
No, it's a big shot.
I don't know if you're Irish
big
car
shot.
bombs. I think you're not supposed to call them that anymore. It's like
It's territorial.
culturally insensitive.
It might be the
maybe.
car bomb. What the fuck?
You know, it goes
Terrorist?
back to the Troubles.
Yeah, the
Let's
Troubles,
talk
baby.
about that.
All right, so when I was smacked, I was thinking. I went back and I started seeing all these people from my like 2014 class. When did you graduate?
2012.
12?
Yeah, 2012.
2012? 2014, 2012.
Man, going way back.
So, it's crazy to think about. You're 10 years coming up. Oh my gosh, you're right there, baby. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I feel nothing about it. What about it?
You should feel
I mean,
good.
it's
You
time
should feel
moves.
good.
Yeah, I feel good.
You became a man.
10 years out and I'm not homeless yet. If we had a reunion, I
good
wouldn't be
thing.
showing up in a Ferrari, but I'm also not showing up in my cardboard box.
Life's good.
Life's good.
So, I'm fucking wearing these socks at fucking Billy's Tap, downtown,
Shout
walking
out
my
to
humble
Billy's
abode. You know, they give me a big shot, DJ and all that, but they're cool people.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing all these people I graduated with just in that area and just small town people. You know, if you went back to your local bar, you probably see some people.
No, it's Chicago, bro. I don't see anybody that I know
so-
ever. You know how big
yeah.
this city is?
Yeah.
I see people once, and they live down the fucking street.
Do you not have like a neighborhood
Never
there?
again.
Like where you went to school, like a neighborhood type thing?
No, so I didn't go to neighborhood school. I went to like one of those selective like.
Oh, so you're
it's
privileged.
I went.
You're privileged.
Yeah, you can
you're
just.
privileged.
We'll just cut the story.
I went.
At that.
I went to
privileged.
public
It's-
school.
So I didn't go to the
Blah,
grimy
blah, blah.
public school, which means the people I went to school with were from all over the city. So
Yeah.
it's not like they live down the street. No, I hate saying that for that.
Yeah,
exact
but it is.
reason,
It is
yeah,
what it is.
So, it is
So-
what it is.
I'm there and I'm seeing all these people, and in my head I was like, it's like jumping into my yearbook. And you remember yearbook signings
Oh yeah.
where you, at the last day of school you see everybody for like 15 seconds and you sign in their yearbook. Hey, hope the
You're
best.
running around to all your friends, all the
Blah,
people
blah,
you
blah,
knew, and everyone. It's
But
like, hey,
like
give me a-
you don't really get long conversations. It's like pretty quick. Like you know what I'm talking about?
It's
It's yearbook signing.
you almost
day.
make me want
Yearbook
to go
signing.
grab my yearbook
Yeah.
and just page through because I guarantee you, all
You know
the
what I'm
people that signed that I wrote really nice things. You know how many of them I ever talked to again?
But
Probably like 2.
that's life.
That's
life.
life.
That's life.
With anything.
So it was when I went there at the bar, it felt like I jumped into my yearbook, and when you're smacked drunk and everybody else is smacked, it's like yearbook signing because you only can comprehend a conversation for like 15 seconds. Then you start laughing for
And
no
then you
reason.
go on to the next thing, and then it's like
Yeah.
a minute later, you're like, what was I talking about
Yeah.
a minute ago?
So it's like
Yeah,
it's like jumping person to person, sign in your thing. Oh, what you been to? Blah 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 blah. Oh, I gotta go. Whatever. I gotta sign my
hey,
next
good
yearbook.
to see you, man. Anyway, peace. Yeah,
But
it's that quick.
it felt like it was so bizarre of like me just jumping in a yearbook, signing everyone's yearbook, and now I'm gone again. I'll see him in a year again.
Yeah, that's how it is, right? You go
And that's
home
how
and
it
it's like
felt.
another.
That's how it felt.
Yeah,
like
that's
just
interesting.
jumping. Like you remember Magic School Bus, where like they
Of
I don't know
course.
whatever. It felt like I just fucking
Isn't it
weirdly.
crazy that like
I set a
a lot
yearbook
of
on the
those
ground and
people out
jumped
there,
into
probably
it.
a lot of these people even watching this don't even know what the fuck Magic School Bus is.
That's all you gotta say.
That is.
Learn something.
The frizz. Anyway.
But yeah, man, it was beautiful, exhausting. It was everything in one. Family holidays are always just like you're glad they're here and ready for them to be like over at the same
Is
time.
that too much?
Nah, bro, like you look like that guy.
Yeah.
You look like that guy.
It just felt right. I was sitting here and I noticed it was behind me, so I was like,
You look like a guy that wants to explore.
look like a guy that would wear this hat and just be exploring everything. You're
Yeah.
downtown, what are you
Especially with the
exploring?
go-to.
Oh, have we ever seen
Go
this new
to.
species of newt that lives in the sewers? It was fucking.
Are you gonna get the booster shot?
I am.
You probably will, though.
Here's the
You
thing.
probably fucking will.
I say every time somebody asks that, I say yes, and then fucking forget about it until the next time somebody asks me. Because you know how much I personally care about it, to be honest? Pretty much zero. Like maybe
Here's a
I'm
question.
ignorant. Maybe I'm ignorant, and maybe this is like totally wrong, and like you'll see me in the hospital in 3 months, and like I'll be eating my words. But I personally do not feel like it's gonna make a difference for my individual outcome.
Oh gosh.
So
Yeah, you knocked on wood though. I'm glad. That's
I realized
where did that start? Where did that start? That's a good. Where's our Jamie
it
at?
comes from
Jamie.
spirits.
Where did that start?
I know this one.
Oh, you know?
Jamie, real quick. Yeah.
All right,
So
wait. Let me reel you in.
Now that's a lot of pressure. Now I
Take
feel
it away,
like I'm about
baby.
to make up some bullshit.
Take it away.
Okay, so my understanding where this comes from is in the old days, basically, you'd knock on the trees to either scare the fairies or let them know that you're coming, because it was supposed to ward away the evil presence and not startle the good ones or something like that. And so that's where knock on wood is coming from, is you're letting the spirits know, like, hey, you're scaring away the bad spirits and the,
I'm waiting for
drawing the
Tinkerbell
attention
to
of the
jump
good
out.
ones.
I'm gonna fucking put Tinkerbell, like I'm gonna glue her and just jump out. My mom loves Tinkerbell. Big fan. No, that's
You
cool.
believe in
Above
the
language.
language guide to life.
We publish at Above Language literature and music, because like
Everything.
I love literature, and we're gonna get to audiobooks. I love that shit. It's such a vibe, bro.
Literature's so good. Look, I'm sitting next to a whole stack of books right now. I'm halfway through every single
It's
one of them.
hard. It's
I'm bad at
easier for me
finishing
to
books.
audiobook because I can work out.
It
I
feels
get more
like cheating.
connected.
It's not actually reading, and your
Yeah.
brain. Trust me, your brain. You're absorbing it and comprehending it in a different way.
Is it better to read or hear?
I think it's better to read, because more
You're-
of your
you
brain
have to
and more
focus.
of your you have to focus.
You're
More
fully
your
there.
presence is
I feel that.
engaged in
I
it.
feel that.
And also, think about it. When you read the words on the page, at first it's kind of like a process, right? It's actual work, and then at some point, your brain kind of takes over. And now you're reading, but it's almost more of like a in your head movie almost, or like however it is. Like
it's
your
beautiful
internal.
when you get lost into a book,
Exactly.
into literature. I feel so bad for people that can't read. That was a long name. For a long time, people just couldn't read.
Yeah. Or even like nowadays, there's plenty of people who are literate, but like they can read their gas bill, they can read stuff for work, they can read like the headlines on the paper. But if you give them like a long book to read, they won't know half the words in
Their
there. And they're
attention
like,
span's out
fuck
there.
this shit. They throw it on their fire. It's more use as kindling.
Here's 3 rules of life that I stand by as a fucking kid. Or whatever, growing up.
Yeah.
Work the fuck out. Work out. Get a good
That's huge.
sweat. Get a sweat on. Seriously, just...
Are you a morning or afternoon workout?
It doesn't fucking matter,
It doesn't,
bro.
though. It doesn't.
Get... However you have to get it, because schedules are all different. Get that fucking workout in. Drink water and Google...
Tons of water. Hydrate. I'm really, really guilty of not hydrating enough.
You have to,
But
bro.
it's huge.
Because
it's huge.
it... Other than just body development, mental development, sharpness, water.
Your brain works
You
better
need it.
when you have water. Your skin
100%.
looks better when you have water.
Overall,
Everything.
human life, water.
Water.
So
Life is
work
water.
out, because when you work out, you need that water. It's coming out, like all that, whatever. So work out, water, and eat. Google what is the best way to fucking live for like eating.
No, don't Google.
What's your diet?
Fucking Google will tell you anything you
Yeah, but
want.
like diet wise,
You have to have
everybody's
no,
body's
no.
different.
It's
Everyone's
everything's
body's-
different though. You have to have a specific question in mind. You have to have somewhere.
Eat your
that's good starting.
vegetables
Because if
before
you
the
just
cake.
Google what is the best blank, you will get 20 contradicting answers.
All right, how
that
about this?
are
How about
all
this?
just-
Go to your, go to your doctor or something. I don't know.
No,
Figure
here's
it
the
out.
way to go.
Wait,
First of all, you're
take it
right.
away. You know what I'm talking about, though.
Work out. Everybody right now, even if it's fucking, I was so bad. I didn't work out for years. You know how I started? Fucking 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes in the morning. Everything I could do to just make a habit of getting up. I did
Because you have
25 push-ups,
a strict-
25 crunches. I did a little bit of body weight stuff, some stretches. I called that a workout. And then from that to now, it's like half hour, an hour every morning of just getting the body moving. I got a little kettlebell. Which,
And how do you feel?
Shout out to Joe Rogan. I hate saying this, but he
Kettlebell's
got
good
me to buy a
workout.
kettlebell. And goddamn, is that not the best thing that
Yeah.
motherfucker's ever said? Buy a kettlebell, and it's so easy
Full
to
body
just do.
workout.
Full body workout, very easy. You can do it in your bedroom. That's what I do. Second thing, nutrition is huge.
It's
The first step,
everything,
which most
bro.
people don't do,
1, 2, boom, everything.
3 meals. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Do you eat breakfast? A lot of people don't.
No, I differ from that. I differ from the 3 meals.
You actually don't have to do 3 meals.
No. It's all about
Eat when
just
you're
making
hungry.
sure you get that intake. Because a lot of people, because
Well, that's why I said
Fast-
3, because
yeah.
a lot of people skip breakfast and then they
Yeah.
work so hard that
Yeah.
it's like they barely eat lunch and then they get
Coffee,
home and it's
fucking-
just like garbage, So eat when you're hungry, but make sure to have a steady nutritional intake that
And
keeps you fueled.
if you're not hungry, don't eat. It's a fucking sin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but actually, it's America. You're trained to like,
Yeah.
oh hey, just eat all this food all the time. You're not even hungry. It's a mealtime. Come on.
All right.
Crazy.
Before I get too smacked, third thing is meditation. Really do it. Take some moments just to gather yourself,
That is also
silence,
huge.
and take. If you do those three things, you will find passions. You will find love in your life. You will find love in yourself. That's it.
Everything changed when I started doing the workout. A little bit of meditation, a little bit of yoga, and some stretching, because that one's huge too. You don't want
Your body.
You have back issues.
you can't
have
sleep.
joint issues.
You'll sleep like a
Start
bird.
Stretching. Oh
Like
yeah,
at
and you
night.
do all
Sleep
these
like a
things.
bird.
You will sleep
Carly.
every single night like a bird.
Carly, she's all started
Do
doing.
birds sleep?
Well, it's funny how I say that because me and Carly Ballerini, she's gonna be doing podcasts for Above Language, the comedian.
Yeah, yeah.
One day I said that to her. She's like, "How'd you sleep last night?" I was like, "I slept like a bird." She's like, "Bird?"
A
I was like, but like I didn't want to like digress. So I was like, "Bird, word."
Bird.
But-
and whenever anyone asks me how I'm feeling from now on, I'm just gonna be like a bird.
I feel like a bird.
Or maybe just simplify it. Yeah.
T-shirt,
Bird.
merch.
How you feeling? Bird.
Bird.
Now we gotta make shirts that just say bird.
I feel like a bird today, baby.
No,
I'm
it just
feeling-
says bird.
bird, bro. Bird.
Or
period.
feeling like a bird.
I'm feeling like a bird today,
We'll
baby.
figure it out.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny.
It's a catch line now.
Yeah.
Catchphrase.
Feeling like a bird, baby.
Feel like a
Oh
bird.
man, I had all these like one-liners I was gonna come to this with just to throw at you.
I love the one.
So, what do you feel about milk?
Milk.
In college, I shit you not, first year of college at Western, my nutrition teacher and culture or whatever, she pushed so hard not to drink milk.
I hate milk, so
Bad
I'm with
for
her on
you.
this one.
And it's really bad for you. And a lot of people don't
Milk's
make it.
bullshit.
Because a lot of people don't understand that the milk and a lot of the meat industries are corporations, even though they're bad. It's like the
They
drug.
bought up all the farms.
It's
and
like
at
the
this
war on
point-
drugs.
At this point, a bottle of milk is just as processed and fucking commercialized as your bag of Cheetos is. You just don't see it that way.
And we don't push it like the war on drugs. Because it's bad for you. It deteriorates your bones.
All of our
And
food
people don't
here in
understand that.
America is fucked. If you look at 90%
It's mass produced
of
for the
what's-
poor.
yeah. And
so
also,
it's accessible.
it's
And they tell you,
the
oh, it's good
meats
for
and
you.
The whole rest of this, everything
Stupid.
that's easy, I live alone over here. I try and cook my meals all the time. You know how much work it actually is if you're a working adult to come home
Yeah.
and cook and clean and eat well. That's why a lot of times I'll just eat food out. But fuck, that costs money, and you don't want to be spending that money all the time. So you're at this like, do I eat shittily or do I spend a lot of money and time to eat well?
I think I'll take money. Always spend highest dollar on
Yeah.
that. Because once you do that, everything else just domino effects falls in place.
It's
Life gets
one of the
easier.
few things I actually spend a lot of money on is food, nutrition, like that sort of. It's so important to basically inside outside what you're putting in your body matters so much.
You are what you eat,
It's so true.
and it's so simple. And
Most people don't even think about it though. Most people, for them, food
That's
in
why
their
you
life
have
is not
us.
something they think about. It's an afterthought. It's, oh, I'm late to work. Let me grab this granola bar and a fucking banana. Which actually, that wouldn't be a bad meal compared to what
That's
most
good.
people do.
On the run.
Which is, oh, let me go to McDonald's or Dunkin' and grab
Poison.
this super greasy thing filled with sugar and fat and throw that in my body. And then, oh, lunch, I'm running real late. Let me go to McDonald's again and grab some nuggets, or I'm going to eat this PB&J or some shit. But, like, all this is, like, not... It's easier to just grab whatever's quick, convenient, and those things usually aren't good for you. And most people don't even
Yes.
think about it. It's just an afterthought. They're just shoving some stuff in there to make the hunger go away, keep moving. And if you live your whole life that way, then you wonder why people end up being like 300 pounds and they're, it's like,
It's
oh,
so
the weight
sad.
just comes
And,
on.
like,
But it's because they
at that
never
point,
think
it's
about
just-
what they eat.
at that point, it just is so far behind, But
Could you imagine having to catch up? From
now, as a 26-year-old man, real quick, I can't wait to have a pool so I can work out. But
oh, pool's great.
yeah.
I love swimming.
But since I've been living on my own since 24 years old,
Yeah.
2 years living on my own. How long you been living on your own?
Oh, fuck. Like,
College. You graduated college, probably came here.
yeah.
So
No, I moved back in with the parents actually
But
for
then-
a year or so, and then I moved here.
well, I lived with grandma for like a year. Well, 3 months actually.
Actually, but if you discount that like year and a half when I moved back in with my parents, you know, it's like I went away to school and I've been more or less living on my own since. So, but
And
you know, it's been probably 3 years in this spot or something.
a lot
4
of
years,
people,
yeah.
a lot of people get it twisted of what manifestation is. You can,
That's interesting.
all right. Charlie Rocket said it a lot in a good way that resonates. But all right, so manifestation is really of having the antenna to be able to think of what your higher purpose is, right? And to really be able to think of your higher purpose is to have the purest of thoughts that can connect to the universe, and you can be like level-headed. You have to eat right, work out, and do all these things. Because like when you work out and you eat right and you do all your family stuff, you do your blessings, you do all that stuff, how good do you feel?
It clears your mind and it puts you in the right mentality, the right frequency.
Yes.
You're vibrating in the right way.
And then
you have the energy that allows you to receive that download from the universe.
And then once you do all that, you have the ability to think clearly, to be able to. So if this is where you are and this is where you want to be, you do those certain things. You're not foggy. You know where to go.
Acting with the right mind.
You know where to go.
Go ahead.
That's what it's all about, baby. Like,
Hey, babe, this book, I'm going to take a minute to push this book.
push it.
This changed my life in a big
What
way,
is it?
actually. It's called The Unfettered Mind by Tahun Soho.
You've been
Takun
pushing that to
Soho.
me for a little bit.
Yeah, no, because it's
We should
great,
swap
but
books.
They talk about
We
the
should
way
swap books
the
and talk
right
about
mind,
it.
You know?
We should swap books
We
and talk
should,
about it.
actually. We
Because I
could
have a
do
book
that.
I'll push after this.
Oh, yeah, let's
Go
do
ahead.
it.
Go ahead.
But basically, it's the same thing he says. Acting with the right mind. Basically, the mind's like a gourd. You push it down, it's trying to spin and go all over the place.
Yeah.
But if you can just be present, it's like some Zen shit. I love Zen. It's,
Yeah.
you know, I'm probably like some sort of a Zen Buddhist or something. But basically, if you act in the right mind, the right way, if your mind is clear and you stop trying to fight that, but you're just able to see it all for what it is, all your actions can be aligned with that right mind, you know, and you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of everything you need to, and it's just like the way of kind of being able to live within your world, being aware of it all, taking it all in, living with it and accepting it, and then being able to move that along in each action, in each moment you're taking the right and present needed action, I guess. It's a complicated thought. It's hard to explain in just like a little, you know, snippet and sound.
Different cultures, but same meaning for a lot of books. But the way some authors are, some people resonate with it better.
Yeah, sure.
But it's just you know, like there's the Bible, and then there's other authors that can put it in words that help people understand.
A lot of those
It's the same
books,
thing.
even like the Bible and the rest of it, it's all getting towards the same thing.
Yeah.
Just some's convoluted, some's a little farther from the source or whatever we want to
Yeah.
call it. But it's all
All falls from the same tree.
Yeah, of kind
Yes.
of the betterment, spirituality. How do you get your mind right so that you can act in the world in the best way? That sort of manifesting what comes to you. You know, those sort of
Yeah,
things.
and there's like
Yeah.
I had that huge breakthrough too. As right when I graduated college, I was always wondering like, why haven't this happened for me yet? You know what I'm talking about? Why haven't
Why am I not big yet? Why do I have
Yeah.
to work? You know, I
Yeah.
have so much. There's a point in my life where I'm like, man, I'm so good at everything. Like, I'm so
Why
fucking
haven't this
smart. I have
happened?
all this inside of me. How come I'm just a fucking nobody? You know, it's like I don't start getting angry at the world, but it's like, why the fuck should I have anything? It's nothing owed to me. There's nothing that I should be or shouldn't be. There's no should.
Yeah.
Everything just is.
You reap what
and
you
so
sow.
once you realize that there's no should and that it's only is, now it is on you
Yeah.
to figure out
And that's what you
how
said.
you make it.
It is on you.
It
that's
is on
that's what you should say,
It's
because
huge.
like I had a realization. I was laying on my fucking floor. I didn't have a bed. When I first moved to Chicago. I was sleeping on the floor for months, bro.
I know a lot
Just-
of people who have that
yeah,
story, yeah.
making that ends meet, bro. But like, you know, but whatever. I want to hopscotch around a lot, but like, when I had a moment of like, you know, I've done, to a lot of people, I am like celebrity in a weird way. I've done a lot of like,
You've done more than they.
Yeah.
You've done more than they have, and you're so. Much
and I'm sleeping on the
closer,
floor. I'm
But
sleeping
you're
on
so
yeah,
much closer
yeah.
to like that celebrity. Yeah.
And I'm sleeping on the floor, and I'm like looking at the ceiling. I'm like why, because I
It's
remember
a huge disconnect.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks you're this
Yeah.
huge whatever, and you're here laying on the floor like, how come I'm not anything yet?
why haven't I, you know, reached these? But like my goals are outrageous, like big. You know what I'm talking about? So like, but I'm hungry, so I was like, why haven't I got that yet? But then I started thinking, I was like, I'm not living, I'm not doing what, like,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, like,
we've had
I'm not living,
both
I'm not
right
doing
here,
it.
I've had this exact experience, and
You
I
know?
think in that sense we're both people who want to do so much. We have these big visions. We can do so much, but almost in all of that being a thing, you forget that it's not owed to you.
Yes.
You forget that everything takes work and the grind, and you also don't see the progress while you're in the middle of it. Because to you, tomorrow's the same as yesterday, it's the same as tomorrow. You know, it's all kind of this big process of all, you don't notice it until one day, boom, suddenly you look and it's like, wow, everything changed. When did that happen? You know, so it's like a slow process that builds. And you have to put in the work, though, through that whole process. Nothing just falls on you. So I had that exact same experience where you're like,
let's take a
you
reflection.
feel like you should be doing something, and you feel like you should
Right
be.
now, how do you feel like you are in your life? How do you feel? Like right now, where are you? So if you're talking, so you're 27, right?
Yeah.
You're what, 20?
Coming up on the
22.
very end of that, about to be 28.
So at 22, are you what you want to be? Realization.
There's two ways to ask that question too. Am I what I want to be in general in my life, or
I
what I want to be at 22? You know.
Yes. So what would you say to yourself? What would you say to yourself? Because there's going to be a lot of 22. Because I remember when I was 22, I would want people to.
I like, what would you say to your old self, or like if you go back?
What
and change
would you
that,
say to your 22-year-old self?
I don't even want to think about my 22-year-old self. The past is the past, and it's made me who I am. I don't think there's very much value in dwelling on it. But I get your point.
The higher purpose is the listeners.
I would have much rather, if I had been 22 and I had the mindset that I had now, and been able to use all of my wasted time to just grind it out and hustle and work and have the confidence to actually believe in myself, because that took a while too, is if you're creative or you're some person that has this idea in your head but nobody around you is necessarily like that, or maybe they are but they have their other ideas, but basically no one's going to believe in your dream except for yourself. But if you don't believe in it, it's never going to happen. And so you have to believe in yourself first, even if no one else does. Because you know what? Especially at first, no one ever will believe in you. And if they do believe in you, you best believe that that'll go away just as quickly as they did believe in you if you do something wrong. Mm-hmm. So relying on other people for that motivation or that sort of validation is a terrible idea. But if you can find it within yourself and just commit to your ideas that you know you're going to do, because all these things that I want to do now, I was doing them at 22. I was just way less confident, way less set in it, way less productive, way less willing to put my nose to the grindstone. You know, I just didn't know how any of this fucking worked. And I'm sure I'll be saying the same thing again in another 5 years. It's because it takes time.
Never stops.
You never stop growing. You never stop learning. And I'm sure I'll be looking back at myself in 5 years going, man, I was such a fucking idiot. If only I'd known this thing. If only I'd done this thing. You know?
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's I'm done. It's like constant process.
I feel like you better put a period on that.
You could put a period.
And then indention. I'm gonna go. But but what I've realized from growing up. So what I've realized from just like, we're still so young in the business world and life, and
we're just young in general.
That's why I'm so blessed to be able to live with my grandma and be around all those older people that told me all those.
I bet that gave you perspective, right?
So much wisdom, bro. But what they also told me is like, everybody hits that greatness stride at different times, and it takes you a little bit to get there. But when you get there, you get there, and who cares when?
Like, look at that. What was it on America's Got Talent or American Idol or whatever?
Susan Boyle.
Yeah, Susan Boyle.
Was it Susan Boyle? What a fucking whirlwind, baby!
She was. Wavelength. But she was what, like fucking 60 or something when she's going out in there and just singing, and the whole fucking
voice.
world all of a sudden knows her and loves her. And she went from being a nobody to this huge somebody basically overnight. Yeah. And it's never too late, I guess, is my point with that. Is she was
never too late.
50.
Here's another example.
There's plenty of people who never hit their stride.
I was in the Gold Coast, doing whatever I do, and I started hanging around all these older people because I weirdly just could because people our age, it's a fucking dog race, and everybody's like, they're almost fucking followers,
A lot of
influencers.
them are like
It's
so,
like we're in a
dude,
dog
also,
race.
like, you know, some of these like common people that I see sometimes are like people I've worked with or all this shit where it's like I'll be sitting around in the office and just hearing like bro, fantasy football this, bro this and that, and it's like I wish I had a better example, but it's just all like meaningless sort of bullshit and dribble, and it's just like
it's what it is.
it's
So I met this guy on the Gold Coast, and we just talk a lot. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, we're just, whatever. I'm sleeping in my fucking studio apartment, paying way too much money, but I like it. but
I like it.
But I like it.
But I like it.
But I like it. I feel like a bird.
You gotta like it.
I feel like a bird.
Yeah, you feel like a
I feel
bird.
like a bird.
Real birdie.
I got my bird nest.
Got a nice little nest.
Yeah.
Moving on to better trees one day. But for now, that's what
right
it
now,
is.
as a bachelor, I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's just a way to stack.
That's
and
what I
just
think
do
all the
everything.
time. As a bachelor, I'm good, but if I have a family, fuck.
No.
Yeah, no.
We're living life right now. We're blessed.
Living
Cross
it
up
up.
right now, real quick.
Blessed.
Seriously. But so I'm on the I'm watching TV and like fucking what my aunt fucking got me whatever, and I'm watching it and a commercial comes up and I see the guy that I saw on Gold Coast. I'm like, whoa,
That exact guy's in the
exact same
commercial?
guy, exact same
No
guy.
shit.
And then the next day I'm downtown and I run into him again. I'm like, whoa, bro, I saw you on as his commercial.
Saw you on TV or whatever. Yeah.
For some, like, one of those pills where, like, if you take this, you'll get cancer and you'll fucking die.
Does your dick not work correctly?
They talk,
Neither did this guy until
dude. That's the job. Like,
they don't tell you what
auctioners
commercial
get.
you're gonna go on, and then you're the poster child for like a broken dick or something. Yeah.
Auctioners, once they get bored of that or their side hustle is doing those commercials.
Oh, they start.
Whoa, you died
If
27
you
years
have a stroke, a heart attack, a red blood. If you are living, please consult your doctor.
One of my coworkers way back when I was like 17, they told me to do that because they're like, "Oh, you can talk fast, do this." I was like, "Nah, whatever." But I was talking to him. And he said, "I've been acting my whole life." He went in and out of it to get money, family reasons, And his big break was at 90 years old. That 90? Was his commercial. That was his big break. That was his stride.
That commercial was the biggest thing he ever did.
Well, for
that
like
was his that was his big break as an actor or whatever.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows him from being that.
And to put it in a lot of perspective of like, and he said he worked hard. And
like
they put
he
in
was trying to grind at it and acting on the side.
But he had a kid, so he went blah blah blah. So
it never
like,
really worked out, and then the one that kind of landed was that.
And it put it in perspective of like we all hit those strides at different times, and who cares? Live this life. And when I was living with my grandma and all these people, I was talking to people, and people on their deathbed. I remember I was with my grandma. She went to bed, and this lady Louise came in. I love you, Louise. Love you, Louise. She just heard from the doctor she's gonna get 6 months to live.
Fuck, that's heavy.
Yeah. And I'm the first conversation she's having at night. It's like it's like 11.
She comes straight from the doctor telling her she has 6 months, and now she's talking.
She was hanging out with my grandma. Then my grandma went to sleep at like fucking 7 because that's what they do. And
turning an old person.
Yeah,
too, man, I get it.
And she couldn't go to sleep, and I wonder why. And it was just me and her in a room, and it was heavy. The vibe was, and the vibes are such a real thing, bro.
It is.
And the vibe in the room was so heavy.
Like you could cut it with a knife almost, yeah.
And at that time, I was so broke. Just signed a social suites, but I had no money to my name, no phone. So I was just there.
Like that broke.
I was broke. Bro, I just graduated college with no money.
Oh, yeah.
And I went straight to grandma's with no money.
Starving artist, straight out of college. The fuck you gonna do?
My homie signed to the Marines. I signed to Swisher Suites. Just to get me to the city.
That right there, 2 paths in life. One person signing the Marines, one signing the Swisher. It's complete opposite.
I'm there. It's heavy, bro. And just, we're talking. We go through We go through all these life lessons. But one of the things that really stuck to me was I felt like I was a loser, bro. Because I was 23 at my grandma's, broke.
You never see the people doing worse than you. You always only think the one's doing better, right? So you're 23 and broke. You have a grandma. You're living with a house over your head. You have a degree. A lot of good things. Yeah. You're not thinking about the homeless people.
I know,
you're
but
thinking
like
about
you're
your
kind
buddy
of
who got the job making all that money right away.
And money's such a devil.
It is.
It's a blessing and a devil at the same time because when you don't have it, you feel like it's such a
If you have it, life is great. If you don't have it, it's all you can think about.
So I'm broke, $0 to my name. I'm talking to this lady that just found out she had 6 months. And really, when you think about it, I'm the wealthiest person in the room. And she's wealthy. But I'm the wealthiest. You know,
terms of, yeah,
that was hard. But
that is
yeah. But man, but like, she said she was talking about all of her life stuff. She was like, but then she wanted to talk about me because she always tell me, she's like, you're gonna be a very wealthy man. You know, she loves me. Like, she's like, I can tell, I know you. She's like, you're gonna be a very wealthy man. And you're gonna have everything by abundance, and you're just gonna be a wealthy man. And then I started asking her for advice of just like, you know, you're an 80-year-old lady.
You've seen a lot of life.
Yeah. Tell me. She, you know, she explored the world and all that. And she's like, all right, when you break your heart at 17, sucks. But it's going to happen again.
And again.
And again. And every time it happens again, that scar gets deeper.
Oh, yeah.
And deeper. And it's harder to climb your way out. So fucking enjoy it. Because life, the older you get, it doesn't matter how much money you make, how much accomplishment you make. Every fucking setback gets harder and harder and harder.
Well, the weight of everything else
Yeah.
that's happened before
And then
starts adding
health.
up on top of it. Yeah.
So, like, you know, I'm sitting there as a 23-year-old man, you know, and I'm more accomplished than a lot of other people. You know, I'm doing all this stuff. And it's seriously like, it was the analogy of half full, half empty. And I realized, I was like, my cup is so full. I have everything.
Overflowing.
And then she really just put that mindset into me of like, and it's all these other ladies, man, talking to me, man. And just like, it really put in the abundance of like, man, like, I'm so
Nothing's
blessed.
getting easier, basically.
Yeah, she was like, enjoy this and everything.
It's getting easier, but
Yeah,
life in
so it's
general,
like-
you know, it's all the weight starts piling up.
She's still alive, by the
momentum
way.
gets behind
She's still
it.
alive,
Oh,
by the
that's
way.
great.
And it's been 3 years. So, like, when doctors say some of this stuff, and I've heard other old
Doctors
ladies
are
in this,
bullshit, man.
a lot of doctors, when they say this, they want you to buy into these prescription things.
Guess what? That
Fucked
doctor
up.
was gonna prescribe her some
Yeah.
pill that probably costs $3,000 a
Yeah.
month for the
'Cause she
rest
knows
of
they
her
have the
6
money.
months. Exactly. Because
It's fucked
so
up.
many issues that I've had that I've gone to doctors and they're just kind of like either, oh, take this random bullshit that's not gonna help, but we make a bunch of money. Like, one, I think I have a floating rib here.
They prey on the
You
old.
can feel the fucked up rib. Even my physician was like, oh yeah, that's weird.
You got a
All the
fucked up rib?
scans, all the everything. Guess what? Nothing. I did some research. It's probably like the cartilage down here can like disconnect. It's not a big deal, but it's like every now and then, you know, maybe it gets a little like whatever. But it's I think it's healed now, or it's okay. I don't even think about it anymore. But like for a while, you know, I had a really weird rib, and you could feel it. It's not like I could do anything anyway. But you think with all our medical science, I'd at least be able to get a guy to tell me, oh yeah, here's what's wrong with you. No, just every single scan.
It's like breaking
everything.
a finger,
You
work
could
it
feel
out.
it, but everyone was just like, no, you're fine. The scans don't show anything. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? You can literally feel it. And they're like, yeah, but the scans are fine.
Was it hard to breathe?
No.
I have a story about
It's
a
just
broken
kind of
rib.
painful.
There's a lot of broken, but so I worked on that TV show Light Years. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure I could talk about this, right?
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
can talk about this. I can talk about this.
If we need
I
to,
can
we
talk
could
about
just.
Not cut it out if I had to. But no, I can talk about this because they say just don't videotape things. I'm verbally talking about something.
That we're videotaping.
But like verbally, the sets. You can't take a picture of
You
the
don't-
set.
You don't picture. Yeah.
That's it.
No one's gonna see this.
You can talk
anyway.
about
if they
it.
want to take us down.
If I say this so clearly that you can vision the set and they sue me for that, I'm a fucking legend. So, but like this isn't even like nothing to go deep in.
Why not?
So I worked on a TV show Light Years, and one of the main characters was J.K. Simmons, the Spider-Man boss guy, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And so I was around him every day,
That's cool.
and I would have conversations, whatever. I want to get that on tape just for me when I'm older. When I first met J.K. Simmons, I was in I can't say location, but I was on set.
Beep.
Yeah, and he came up to me area for whatever reason, and have you ever seen Juno?
So he's doing undisclosed things
Yeah.
in undisclosed places,
Yeah.
but he comes across J.K.
Yeah.
Simmons. You can
So-
picture the scene right now.
So do you know Juno? You know that movie?
Yeah.
You
With,
know that you know,
Ellen Page or
you know that
something,
yeah, you know that song, "The Monkey on My Back is My Latest Friend."
Oh,
There's a song in it.
right?
Yeah.
That's been so.
So J.K. Simmons comes up to me, and the first thing I say to him, I was like, "Oh hey J.K., I'm a huge fan." He's like, "Oh, okay, cool." being cool, good,
Yeah, of
but
course,
you know,
of course.
it's long
Sure, he
days.
hears
It's
that
long
1,000
days.
times a
Yeah, it's
day.
a long day. So he's just like, it's work.
Shooting the
I'm around
shit,
this
yeah.
guy for 4 months or so. So it's like, but this is my first interaction.
Sure.
So he expects a little fanboy.
Little
So,
bit.
so I'm like, once we get over the interaction, I'm like, the monkey on my back is my latest friend. And then, shit, you not, JK, he just looks up at me. He's like, he just laughs.
just
He
starts
laughs, bro.
laughing.
And bro, like, where I'm getting to the story is, during the show, he had to wear like a light suit because it's a time traveling thing.
Okay.
And he broke his ribs on a motorcycle crash.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I
I
can.
want to get a motorcycle.
Can I reveal that information?
Do HIPAA laws apply?
I'm sure, right?
If somebody told that to you. Yeah, I'm sure that's fine.
It's not in my union
Whatever,
contract.
fucking sue us later, bitches.
It's not. It's not in my union contract not to verbally say something. It's pictures.
If some lawyers want to get back to us on this later,
Let's
we're
go,
more
baby.
than happy to scrub this part and re-release.
But
it or something.
he broke his ribs on a whatever motorcycle thing, motorcycle crash, and
a motorcycle thing.
yeah.
You know, we don't talk about what it was.
Yeah, whatever. But the reason he's such a boss, he had broken ribs. He had to get in this suit and work 14-hour days, and it was hard for him to breathe because whatever.
Yeah, because of the suit.
And
the
he
ribs
wore the
and all.
suit and everything, and he's a fucking boss.
He just kind of powers through
He
it. He just
powers
does the
through
thing
it, bro.
And, like,
And
fuck my ribs, whatever. It doesn't
He's
matter.
the fastest walker I've ever seen on set. He's just walking so
It's just
fast.
a man that has purpose and a place
Yeah,
to be.
he's there and back, and he holds himself with such professionalism. And I remember I was talking to Shy. He's on the show, and he talked. There's stories. I wish like Shy was on here. We'll have Shy on here someday. Next time in Chicago, but he said like JK hasn't had to audition for a role in years because he's such a professional. People just seek him, and there's been stories of like JK picked up first time he met Shy. He picked him up, put him on his shoulders. And he threw him on the ground.
What?
Because like it was for the set. He put him on the shoulders like a. They were like, "Oh, we can have a stunt devil do that. Do
And
that
he's
for
like,
you."
"I'll
Stunt
just
devil.
do it."
He just lifts him up, broken ribs or whatever, and just tosses him down. And Shy's looking at him like, but like, it's funny the ripple effect of that whole show because so you have J.K. Simmons, a fucking seasoned veteran in the industry.
Yeah, he's been around the block. He's seen something.
There's a bunch of other stars, Sissy Space, whatever. But
Don't need to.
she's amazing.
now.
Roshi, Julieta, they're all beautiful. Adam, whatever.
Shouts out, I guess.
Yeah. So JK, he doesn't know it. Well, he probably does, but like Shy Hansen, he is watching JK of watching everything he does and just learning because he's a seasoned veteran. And then me, I became friends with Shy, and I'm like I'm on set watching the monitors. I'm watching everything he does. I'm just learning from him because he's such a good actor. So I got this beautiful experience to not just one be on set, not just two to be able to watch him on set, not three become friends with him to be able to talk about what he did, why, how, and
that's huge.
acting
Especially
technical.
When you're starting out, to
Yeah,
be able to get into that
and
environment.
you
also have the presence of mind to be able to make something of it. Like, you know that's just not an everyday occurrence. It was not an everyday occasion.
I knew I was in a situation, and the fact that he knew that I was in awe of him, and I was just like,
you both were able.
I was studying him,
approach each other.
So like he I think he was aware of that, and he like.
Well, it's also real recognized as real. I'm sure at one point he's someone like you, studying everyone else, trying to figure it out. So he sees
I think he realized
it in
that,
you, and I think he recognizes.
And
it.
I have the utmost respect for that guy. He's a hard worker, dude. Amazing actor. He knows that. I love you, Shy. And man, like, I hope I'm like the 1970s guy on Light Years, and I'd be able to act with them, because that's how it all worked out like that, and the casting company and all that. But like, man, like cool. It was just a beautiful moment, and that's how it happened. In when they brought me to celebrity boxing the match, I was supposed to be there as a celebrity and sit in front row. They booked me as a celebrity, but I brought my camera people to videotape me, and I was like,
so now you're like more than celebrity. You're like,
well, I was like, well, this is boring. You know what I'm talking about?
Sitting
here and having people look at me.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so much bigger than that. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I had these camera people. So I went into above language mode.
Yeah.
And I met the CEO. He brought me into the ring. There's a picture on Instagram. Shook his hand. I was like, hey, I'm here as above language also. We're going to videotape everything.
Nice.
So we're ringside going all crazy. So it's like.
That's how you do
And then that's what Curl told me is like, man, not a lot of people. I give them these opportunities, but not a lot of people know.
Not a lot of people take it. They don't even
a
realize
lot behind
it's
the
an
curtain.
opportunity or anything.
And like,
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, through meditation, water, exercise, I could tap in and I can execute at
You're
the highest
able
levels.
to see the vision
There.
and know the opportunity when you take
When
it
you're
and take it
there,
before that door closes.
You know, like I don't
there's a
tuck
lot
my
of-
tail. I waggle that shit because it's
Yeah.
fun, bro.
Oh, it's awesome.
And
There's
then-
a lot of people who like, you know, they could be in the room with JK or Shy or any of these people. They could be
They're
at
humans.
that above language. Guess what? They're just gonna sit there like
Yeah.
the whole time,
In awe.
just fucking dumb
No.
in awe. They're not gonna do anything. But you're on the other end of this in a completely different mindset, going, man, this is amazing.
Because here
How
I am.
can I
This
use
is where I
this
wanna be.
to leverage? Exactly. You're like, how can I learn from all this? How can I use this? You know, where's the learning? Because there's always learning in everything.
Oh,
So it's like, where's that opportunity, and how do I?
we both had the most. This year was such growth. This year was such growth for all of us.
It has been.
The first time I met you, nobody
Do you think
knows
we'll
this.
get a New Year's? Do you think
Huh?
we'll get a New Year's special where we recap, or is this our end of the year special?
We should recap sometime.
We'll see. I don't
Whatever.
know the dates with the
But
holidays. And
when the
everything
new
works
year,
out.
we'll talk
Yeah.
about.
Anyway,
whatever.
we'll have a recap episode next.
The
Maybe,
future looks
but
bright,
it's
and this
looking
year
up.
was such a big year for and I feel like you too. And the
lot of
first time
things.
I met you, I moved to my location. And I'm on the beach. I was in a different mind state, and
That was such a nice day at the beach. Wasn't
it was such a nice
It was
day.
Beautiful.
And I remember I met you, and I was just.
Vibing.
Yeah, just we're
It was a
vibing.
vibe,
We had
bro.
all these people,
Yeah.
and I remember weirdly too. Everybody was laying in the sun, and I was sitting next to the old people in the shade.
Yeah.
You remember
I remember
that?
that? You were under the tree.
And people were looking at me
Mhm.
weird, but I was like, I vibe with old people so hard, bro.
Yeah, I know, I love old people too, man. I always
Yeah.
sit, like,
Do you remember me
I
sitting
went
in
to
the shade with the old
Ireland,
people?
and I just spend all the time there fucking drinking with these old people, where all the people my age were like doing all the bullshit or whatever. It's like, fuck you
Do you
guys.
remember
I'd rather
that?
hang out with them.
Me sitting in the shade with the
Yeah,
old people
there's
while
those
everybody's
old
in the
people,
sun.
yeah.
And I was just eating fruit, chilling. Then I came back to you guys, but it's moderation.
It's a vibe though. It's like,
I feel like we ran. I feel like we went a lot.
yeah,
You want to end this?
yeah. I think we're good here. Honestly, I think we're.
Take us out.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess if we had to wrap this up, we
It's Alexander Lewis, baby.
Alexander Lewis. Check out 55 Classy merch. I'm
55
sure that's
oh.
still selling. Find
Dead-
it on all the platforms.
Dead Roses Part 1's coming out January 8th, 2021. And I have a movie audition the same day, so it's cool. But Dead Roses Part 1, it's produced by Jack Dean out of UK, very established producer. We're bridging the gap between UK and USA. Some of the best music are made lyrically, sonically, it's sexy. Go ahead.
I haven't really heard anything, but I'm hyped for it.
I sent you that
We're,
if
we're
and when
looking
and
at
get you off
probably
mine.
some more media coming out. I'm hoping we can start pushing out some more articles into 2022. Maybe get a
We have
merch
some.
line going, a few other things.
We're very new to
We're,
this.
this whole thing is just starting up. I mean,
we
literally,
talking
this
about?
is like fresh off the presses. You can smell the freshly baked rolls.
Alexander Lewis,
Nils Clausen.
above language. We might see you in 2022. Goodbye,
I think
2021.
we'll squeeze one more in
Yeah,
2021,
maybe.
though. I
should.
feel like we might.
Happy holidays.
Merry
Give
Christmas
and receive.
and all that. It's I don't say that happy holiday shit. It's Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, baby.
We're in
and
America, whatever. And Christmas
Happy
isn't
New
even
Year.
Christian anymore. It's just commercialization and Santa. So Merry fucking Christmas. Go buy some shit and put up a tree in your house.
That was fun, bro.
Take it out.
Oh, that was a good time.
How long are we doing that one? I bet
Press-
it's a
press
long
spacebar.
one.
Press-
Oh,
press-
longest one yet.
Press spacebar. Press spacebar.